just a small ham, but can be worth more than $4. So what makes this meat so expensive? The answer lies in a special breed of pig, the Iberico, a jet black pig that lives in the Iberian Peninsula, where nature and man combine to create one of the world's most famous culinary masterpieces. More than 1.2 million Iberico pigs are raised each year. Not in industrial barns, but in vast oak forests, where they run free, eat a strictly controlled diet and are cared for by skilled farmers. The journey from oak forest to plate is a series of feats that are steeped in tradition, combined with modern technology, from spicy chorizo sausages to precious jamón Iberico legs. The entire production process is carried out with near absolute precision. This breed of pig originates from Spain and Portugal and lives in the Dehesa ecosystem, the peninsula's characteristic oak forests. They are not just livestock, but an integral part of the culture and culinary history of this region. Iberico pork is known for its tenderness, well-marbled fat, rich flavor and high oleic acid content, a heart-healthy fat, thanks to a special diet rich in acorns and a natural exercise regime. From the time they are in their mother's womb, each pig is carefully cared for. The sow is pregnant for about 4 months before giving birth to a litter of 8 to 12 piglets. In the early stages of life, the piglets are exclusively breastfed to strengthen their immunity. After a month, they are moved to a large pen, live in groups, and begin a protein-rich diet to develop their bodies. When they are old enough, the pigs are released into the oak forests, the most important place to create the famous flavor. They forage freely, especially for acorns, a precious fruit that falls from the trees. Farmers use long sticks to tap the branches to call the acorns down, and the pigs eagerly wait below. Not only do they eat, they also have to move constantly to find food, a process that helps their bodies become firm and their meat naturally marbled. After about 18 months of living in an ideal environment, the qualified pigs will be brought to the processing plant, where the process of transforming into culinary essence begins. The hind legs, the most important part to make jamón Iberico, are trimmed of excess fat and skin and then salted. Other parts of the meat are filtered separately to be processed into sausages and other cold meat products. For Iberico chorizo sausage, the meat is ground, seasoned with salt, garlic, paprika and mixed with Iberico pork fat until the mixture reaches the perfect consistency. The mixture is then stuffed into intestines, hung up and naturally fermented for weeks to develop its distinctive flavor. Then carefully packaged for around $20 a pop. Jamón Iberico is an art in itself. After being salted with pure sea salt, each ham is gently pressed to allow the salt to penetrate, then placed in a cold room for 1 to 2 weeks. Next, the ham is washed, carefully inspected by hand and sound, and then put into the drying stage. For the first 3 months, the ham is slowly dried at tightly controlled temperatures and humidity. They are then moved to a high floor where they are exposed to natural sunlight and wind, an important factor in creating a dry crust. fragrant aroma and soft texture inside. This process lasts for 2 to 3 years. To prevent dryness and create a natural shine, a layer of refined lard or olive oil is evenly brushed over the surface of the ham. Each leg is then hung in a special fermentation cellar, where the temperature and humidity are adjusted daily to allow the natural yeast to develop its flavor. Each year, the leg gradually loses weight and enhances its flavor. If you see white or green mold on the skin, that is a positive sign, proving that the fermentation process is going well. When the fermentation process lasts for 24 months, experts use a small tool made of horse bone to test the aroma of the leg. Only those that meet the absolute standards are certified and stamped with a red-hot iron, a symbol of quality and origin. Finally, the leg is wrapped in traditional wax paper or vacuum sealed, ensuring that the flavor and quality are preserved when it reaches the consumer. With pre-sliced versions, an automatic cutter will cut each slice as thin as a sheet of paper. Then package and store it in a cold environment, convenient but still preserving the traditional essence. From a wild black pig to the pinnacle of culinary delights on the table, each slice of Iberico meat is the result of time, care and endless passion. Once you have tasted it, you will understand why Jamón Ibérico is considered the Hermes of world cuisine. And if the journey from a black pig to the pinnacle of cuisine has left you in awe, then get ready for a whole new adventure, to a dry, hot place where the sun burns every grain of sand. There, a magical creature has survived bravely for thousands of years, the camel. At first glance, you might think that camels were born in the desert, but the truth is quite the opposite. Their ancestors once lived in the lush green highlands of North America. After millions of years of migration and evolution, they became an immortal symbol of the arid Middle East, not just stopping at the delicate and enchanting slices of meat. Iberico pork is also a living cultural symbol of Spanish cuisine, where each slice is not just food, but also a heritage. In Europe, especially in high-end restaurants, the performance of hand-cutting Jamón Ibérico with a long, thin, sharp knife has become a familiar ritual. The professional cutter, with each skillful movement and highly focused eyes, gently separates each thin slice of meat like silk, where fat and lean meat blend together like a vivid color painting. Each slice is arranged in a spiral, one layer covering the other. Both beautiful and awakening all the senses. That appeal does not only exist in Spain. Today, Jamón Ibérico has become a high-end export, present in hundreds of countries from the US, Japan to the Middle East. In Asia, where the cuisine is sophisticated and focuses on original value, Iberico pork is considered a premium gift, placed in a wooden box, covered with red velvet, selling for up to thousands of dollars for each leg. Gourmet consumers pay more than just for meat, they pay for the time, art, nature and tradition that goes into every piece of meat. They don't eat jamon on a plastic fork in a fast food restaurant, but sip it with red wine, with classical music and candlelight, as if enjoying a centuries-old symphony of flavors. It can be said that the Iberico pig is no longer an ordinary livestock animal, but a living ingredient, an indispensable part of the global luxury food supply chain. From mountain farms to international food fairs, from traditional processing plants to five-star booths in Tokyo or New York, each Iberico pig carries a story, a soul and a strict standard that not all pork can reach. Unlike industrial pigs, which live quickly, die quickly, have tasteless meat, and dense white fat, the Iberico pig is the embodiment of patience and selection. They live slowly, eat carefully, jog every day in the oak forest, consume bad fat and create a soft, melting fat that melts as soon as it touches the tip of the tongue, a feature that makes culinary experts exclaim, "Pork that is as delicate as Wagyu beef." The Spanish call them culinary national treasure, because jamon Iberico not only represents pork, it is also a cultural ambassador. A national pride that is strictly protected by law. Each leg has a code. A farming area, genetic ratio, age of the pig, number of days of ripening and even the level of acorn feeding. No detail is left out. That is why, in international auctions, each leg of Iberico bellota pork, meaning pigs fed entirely on acorns, has been sold for more than $10, becoming one of the most expensive pork in the world. It is no longer an agricultural product, but a work of art. In an age where food is increasingly industrialized and standardized, Iberico pork speaks for itself, reminding us that true quality requires time, effort, and above all, respect for nature, animals, people and traditions. And when the last slice of meat melts in your mouth, leaving a rich, fatty aftertaste mixed with a natural sweetness that spreads on the tip of your tongue, you will understand why the world has fallen in love with such a rugged black pig. And if Iberico pork is considered the black pearl of the Spanish peninsula, then in the east, among the peaceful fields of Japan, another creature is being raised with love, patience and the strictest standards. That is Wagyu cattle, the breed that produces meat considered the softest silk in the culinary world. Like Iberico pigs, Wagyu is not born to be raised in large numbers. Each cow is microchipped when it is a calf, to monitor every step of its growth. From muscle mass to daily mood, the breeders even play classical music at noon, helping the cows relax, sleep deeply and digest better. There are no industrial barns, no growth-enhancing feed. Instead, the diet is designed like a gourmet menu: barley, steamed soybeans, rice bran and sometimes even beer. Each cow has its own notebook, recording the day of eating, resting time, and water intake. like a health diary, carefully maintained by veterinarians and nutritionists. And the most special thing, it is the marbled fat structure, where each thin strand of fat weaves between the red lean muscle, creating softness, sweetness, and the ability to melt in the mouth. If you have ever cut a slice of Wagyu meat, you will find it does not look like meat, but like a work of art of nature and human engineering. Unlike regular steaks that require knives and forks. Wagyu only needs to be gently cut and savored in thin slices, when the fat slowly melts away due to body temperature, blending with the rich sweetness, leaving a lingering aftertaste like a piece of instrumental jazz. Like Jamón Ibérico, Wagyu beef is not simply a food, but a symbol of the elite, displayed in Michelin restaurants and served at limited parties, where the silence of the diners is a testament to the sublime level of flavor. Today, Japanese Wagyu meat has been exported all over the world, but the quantity is strictly limited. Each batch of meat must have a certificate, the name of the farm, the geographical location and the pedigree of the cow. Famous restaurants in New York, Paris, Dubai or Singapore compete for each of these rare batches, as if hunting for culinary treasures. If Jamón Ibérico is the Hermes of pork, then Wagyu is the Rolls-Royce of beef, where the value is not in quantity. But in absolute quality, which cannot be faked, cannot be copied, and in the fast-paced world of food, where speed and quantity are paramount, products like Iberico and Wagyu are clear evidence that some things can only be achieved with patience, dedication and love for each living creature. From the peaceful oak forests to the tranquil Japanese grasslands, from the marbled red meat to the tender, melt-in-your-mouth pork, these are more than just dishes. They are the culinary quintessence of humanity, nurtured by time, aged by tradition and enjoyed with gratitude. And while we think we have reached the pinnacle of gastronomy with the exquisite slices of Iberico pork, somewhere else, an equally magical journey is quietly taking place, where tiny eggs are hatched, where millions of chickens are raised in a high-tech environment, and where each piece of white meat is processed into familiar dishes on the dining tables of billions of people every day. This is the world of modern chicken farming and processing, where speed, technique, safety and flavor are combined in a sophisticated way to create an irreplaceable culinary product in the 21st century. The story begins in a completely quiet place, the hatchery. In large trays designed with automatic technology, millions of breeding eggs are placed in an absolutely sterile environment. Inside, the temperature is always maintained around 37.5 degrees Celsius, simulating the natural incubation conditions of mother hens. The The automatic egg turner gently rotates each egg every few hours, helping the embryo inside develop evenly. During the 21 days of incubation, each egg is like a miniature world, where the chick's blood vessels, heart, lungs, legs and eyes gradually form. Finally, on the 21st day, a very small sound is heard, the first pecking sound. The chick uses its tiny beak to slowly and instinctively chip away at each piece of the shell until it emerges. Wet and shivering in its first light. As soon as it hatches, the chicks are put through an automated sorting system. The healthy ones are selected for the meat stage, while the weak ones are culled or transferred to other purposes such as research, vaccines or biorecycling. Next comes one of the most important stages, industrial broiler farming. No longer small, narrow barns along village roads. Today's modern livestock factories are thousands of square meters wide, completely controlled by computer systems. Temperature, humidity, ventilation rate, light, water quality and feed, all are monitored every minute. A controller can monitor an entire flock of tens of thousands of chickens through just one central control panel. Each chicken is monitored from hatching until it reaches its ideal weight, usually after 35 to 42 days. The chicken feed is a formula feed, a mixture of corn, soybeans, minerals and digestive enzymes, helping the chicken gain weight quickly but still ensuring firm meat, low fat, thin skin, soft bones. Poultry nutritionists always research the optimal ratio to gain 50 to 70 grams per day. After leaving the production line, the chicken trays are placed in a deep freezer, where the temperature drops below -35 degrees Celsius in just a few minutes. This process not only helps preserve the cell structure of the meat, but also prevents the growth of bacteria, prolonging its shelf life while ensuring freshness. The frozen chicken is packaged in multi-layer packaging, clearly printed with the expiry date, origin, batch number and traceability code, all of which are thoroughly checked by an automatic scanning system. At the distribution centers, each package is placed in a refrigerated container with a temperature maintained throughout the journey. Whether you live in New York, Seoul, Singapore or Ho Chi Minh City, the chicken you eat for dinner could have been processed halfway around the world, while still maintaining its flavor, color and safety. However, behind the huge numbers, billions of chickens are raised and processed every year globally, lies an important question. What have we been doing to ensure sustainability, humaneness and safety for both humans and animals? In recent years, the chicken farming industry has been changing dramatically. Phrases like animal welfare, free range, no antibiotics, organic feed are no longer strange concepts. Many farms have changed their model, letting chickens run outdoors, sunbathe and freely find food. This is not only good for the animals, but also creates meat with a naturally chewy texture and a sweeter taste than chickens raised in closed cages. Some factories are also equipped with therapeutic sound systems, playing soft music every day, helping to reduce stress for chickens. Small details such as lighting, wind speed, floor humidity, are all designed to be as close to the natural environment as possible. All of this is aimed at creating a balance between productivity and ethical farming. In parallel, there is a race for clean food technology, microbiological, antibiotic and heavy metal testing systems are now installed at each factory, operating 24/7 to monitor every batch before it leaves the factory. If a sample of chicken meat has drug residue or bacteria that exceed standards, the entire batch will be stopped immediately and may be destroyed to avoid the risk of spreading to the market. Not stopping there, large food corporations are also collaborating with universities, research labs, and non-profit organizations to develop chicken breeds that are less susceptible to disease. Consume less feed, but produce better quality meat, helping to reduce the amount of antibiotics and minimize the impact on the environment. On the other hand, consumers are also becoming more sophisticated. More and more people are willing to pay a higher price for products that are clearly sourced. Clean, antibiotic-free, humane and sustainable. It is market pressure that has forced the entire industry to change, not just for profit, but for social responsibility. You can buy a bag of fried chicken wings for less than a few dollars. But behind that are decades of technological innovation, millions of workers, and a huge value chain operated like a machine with precision down to the millimeter. Yet, amid all those numbers and modern machines, there are still human hands quietly operating everything. It is the engineer standing in the control room monitoring the temperature of thousands of chickens at the same time. It is the veterinarian going from cage to cage checking the gate, vocalizations, and eating habits to detect abnormalities. It is the worker on the chicken cutting line, checking every bruise, every joint to make sure not a single one is left behind. In this industrialized world down to the smallest detail, there are still silent hearts keeping every piece of chicken clean, delicious, and authentic. And that is also the reason why, no matter how many new products appear, from plant-based meat, alternative proteins or lab-grown meat, chicken remains a popular food. Trusted and loved all over the world, not only because of the price, but because of the perfect balance between nutrition, healthiness, versatility in processing and cultural value. From traditional chicken soup to modern fusion dishes, from family meals to high-class parties, chicken is always present. Quietly but persistently, and when you bite into a piece of tender, fragrant chicken, marinated, grilled over charcoal or fried crispy. Remember that you are not just eating a dish, but experiencing the result of an entire agricultural system. Science, technology, ethics and dedication of millions of people around the world. Throughout the rearing process, the automated monitoring system sends out alerts if any abnormal indicators from a flock eating less than usual to a sudden drop in room temperature. Any risks are detected early, minimizing the possibility of disease. After more than a month of rearing, when the chickens reach a weight of 2 to 3 kg, they are transferred to the slaughter and processing plant, where the most modern process begins. The chickens are delivered on a closed conveyor belt, ensuring no stress or injury. The stunning process takes place in a few seconds using a mild electric current. Helping the chickens lose consciousness quickly and feel no pain. Next, each bird is hung upside down on a stainless steel hook conveyor. Moving through an automatic neck cutting system, blood flows out quickly, helping to clean the meat and ensure microbiological safety. Next is the plucking stage. A rotating soft rubber shaft system completely removes the feathers without tearing the skin. The chickens are then passed through an organ cleaning machine, where mechanical mechanisms are as precise as human hands, opening the belly, removing the intestines, rinsing the abdominal cavity with sterile water and inspecting each part of the intestines to remove damaged individuals. Each clean, smooth and shiny chicken is put into a sorting system according to weight and size. Then processed according to order: whole chicken, chicken pieces, skinless chicken breasts, chicken thighs, chicken wing. Or pre-marinated according to each country's taste. This is also where art meets technology. In modern workshops, chickens are seasoned with a vacuum roller, allowing the spices to penetrate evenly without the need for additives. Trays of crispy fried chicken, honey roasted chicken, barbecue chicken, Korean-style chicken, are vacuum-packed, deep frozen and sent to global markets, from American supermarkets to Asian fast food chains. The journey from egg to plate may seem simple, but behind it lies an ecosystem of technology, engineering and strict biosafety procedures. An industrial chicken, which may be considered normal, is a testament to the progress of the global food industry. When you bite into a crispy fried chicken wing, or a tender chicken breast in a salad, you probably don't think about the dozens of steps that have taken place, but in each bite is the sweat, intelligence and connections of thousands of people across the supply chain. And strangely enough, whether in developed or developing countries, chicken still holds a firm place on the dinner table of billions of families. Partly because of its reasonable price, partly because chicken is highly versatile. It can be steamed, boiled, fried, grilled, shredded, roasted whole or stewed with bones. From heart-warming Chinese herbal chicken soup on cold days in Asia, to Texas-style honey-grilled chicken, Korean-style crispy fried chicken, or spicy Indian chicken curry, each culture has created its own way to maximize the flavor of the same single ingredient, chicken. In modern food factories, the chicken production line does not stop at fresh products. Convenience products are increasingly dominant, from pre-fried chicken nuggets, chicken sausages, marinated chicken in trays, to dried chicken, shredded chicken packaged for use in salads, sandwiches and processed foods. In the marinating and deep processing area, chicken is marinated with special sauces for each market: Thai sweet and spicy sauce, American barbecue sauce, Japanese teriyaki sauce, or Vietnamese fish sauce. Then, the product is shaped, frozen, vacuum-packed and ready to be sent to supermarket. The IQF, Individual Quick Freezing, system allows each piece of meat to be frozen independently, without sticking together, allowing consumers to take as many pieces as they want without having to defrost the whole bag. In one day, a large factory can process from 200.00 to 400.00 chickens, equivalent to thousands of tons of meat, with almost no waste. Chicken skin is fried into snacks. Livers, gizzards, and hearts are canned separately for the Asian market. Chicken bone are ground into concentrated broth or bone meal for pets. Even the excess fat is filtered and turned into biomaterials for the cosmetics and energy industries. Not only for human consumption, the chicken processing industry also serves the animal feed, pet and pharmaceutical markets. An industrial chicken, from skin, meat, bones to feathers, is fully utilized. That shows the extreme optimization of the modern production system, not only for profit, but also to minimize waste, increase efficiency and meet a series of social needs. However, the more modern the industry is, the more pressure it is under, from the environment, consumers, media to non-governmental organizations. And it is these pressures that have driven the green transition wave in the global chicken industry. In Europe, more and more farms are adopting a circular farming model, where chicken waste is turned into organic fertilizer, used for growing crops, instead of being discharged directly into the environment. In the US, some factories use solar power and biogas from chicken manure to operate the electrical system, reducing dependence on fossil fuels. Many businesses have also invested heavily in blockchain traceability, allowing consumers to simply scan a QR code to know where the chicken they
I don't wanna have you, baby. I just wanna have a play. I wanna go down, stay, kissing your feet, and you make me crazy.
their eating was raised,
Tell me what you want
what it ate, how it was vaccinated, and when it was slaughtered. A clear demonstration of the 21st century consumer's right to know. And in that race for innovation, AI and robotics technology have also quietly joined in. From cage cleaning robots, automatic feeders, remote body temperature measurement systems, to gate monitoring cameras, all contribute to increasing efficiency, reducing labor costs, and ensuring animal welfare. Chicken,
kissing your feet, and you make me crazy. Right before I go, that's the time that I'm gonna show all the crazy
from being a popular dish, has now entered a new era, where the story behind it is as important as the taste. A piece of fried chicken can be the product of a global green production chain. A slice of chicken in a convenient lunchbox may come from a farm that is free of antibiotics, uses recycled water, and uses solar power. And at every meal, we, the consumers, are the ones who decide the future of the food industry. By our choices.
I need tonight. You're gonna give it to me right.
We support clean products, transparent supply chains, and ethical businesses. We are not just eating, we are sending a message about what is important in the modern world. Finally, imagine, from a small egg, 21 days later, a chick hatches, 42 days later, and just a few hours later, it becomes a dish on your table. The whole journey, from life, nutrition, technology, human resources, and ethics, is all wrapped up in a piece of soft, delicious, and familiar white meat. That is why chicken never goes out of style, because it not only feeds us, but also demonstrates the resilient, intelligent and humane evolution of the world's food industry.